Greater Manchester Police Chief Constable Ian Hopkins says, "We can't get anything right." PC Darren Booth's misconduct hearing continues after he allegedly propositioned a member of the public. Police to be issued with less accurate and more dangerous tasers. And a nurse gets fined for fly tipping after offering apples to passers-by. This and more coming up. Don't forget, these reports are daily, Monday to Friday. Please remember to subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss any future uploads. And if you do appreciate the work I do, please consider joining the channel Patreon for as little as just £3 per month, although that's not obligatory, but it can help me to continue providing this content. Hello, ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, innies, outies and in-betweeners. My name's Dan and welcome back to another PAP Reports. It's Tuesday, the 25th of August, 2020. In yesterday's report, we touched on how West Mercia Police allowed a 200-strong wedding to go ahead while posing for photos with some of the wedding party, and in complete contrast to the behaviour of Greater Manchester Police, who went on a fixed penalty notice spree across the county, seemingly issuing fixed penalty notices to everyone and completely foregoing their own guidance of engage, explain, encourage and enforce, by issuing fixed penalty notices even after asking groups to disperse, and the groups doing so. In particular, a 10-year-old girl's birthday party where 3 different households allegedly got together to celebrate her birthday in a private garden. Of course, even being in a private garden is not against any laws, even during the COVID pandemic, which is why the police can only issue fixed penalty notices and not arrest you for it. And even after asking the gathering to disperse, which there's no indication that they didn't comply, Greater Manchester Brown Shirts still gave the girl's single mother a fixed penalty notice. Well, Greater Manchester Brown Shirts appear to be seeking a little sympathy after Chief Constable Ian Hopkins said officers have been accused of being heavy-handed in stopping people from socialising in line with current guidance to stop the spread of coronavirus, and that it feels a bit like we can't win. Now, even after the criticism the force received after they proudly tweeted the fact that they had fined a single mother of a 10-year-old girl celebrating their birthday, Greater Manchester Police Chief Constable Ian Hopkins said in an interview on BBC Radio 5 on Monday the 24th of August that police officers were called out to a terminally ill child's birthday party following concerns that those in attendance were breaking lockdown rules. The incident was dealt with over a quiet word. Initially, I thought this was the same incident, but Ian Hopkins confirmed it was a separate incident in which they were called to. In his interview on Radio 5 Live, the Chief Inspector said his officers had been faced with a range of different scenarios when it comes to stopping people from socialising. He said that most people are absolutely trying their best to comply with what we've all been asked to comply with to keep us all safe, but we're getting lots of reports from the public. It feels a bit at the moment like we can't win, because if we don't go and deal with it, with these things, people are saying it's not fair because I'm trying my best to comply. Why are these people allowed to do it? And where we do deal with it, people are saying, well, it's heavy-handed and it's a police state. We're trying to take a very balanced and proportionate view, so throughout this pandemic, we've issued very few fixed penalty notices across Greater Manchester. 1 to every 10,000 citizens at one point. Even this weekend, we've only issued 19. Yeah, but no doubt mainly to those who are in small groups. But I bet my last pound that you won't be or weren't issuing fixed penalty notices to large groups of people. Referring to the 10-year-old girl's party incident, Mr. Hopkins said the party we're talking about, and obviously I've seen some of the criticism around it, it was gone 8 o'clock in the evening. It was reported to us by members of the public, and it was mostly adults who were enjoying the party. What, so 10-year-olds are not allowed up past 8 o'clock now? Is that what you're saying? It wasn't sort of jelly and ice cream with a bunch of 3 and 4-year-olds sat around in the middle of the afternoon. So the officers decided, based on what they'd seen, that they would issue a fixed penalty notice. But why would 3 or 4-year-olds be at a 10-year-old's party? Clearly not inviting a bunch of other kids and keeping it in what would appear to be family, I would assume, is being safer, isn't it? And who the hell are the police to say what time a child can party till? He continued to contrast that, which isn't being reported because it's not been in the public domain. We were called to a child's birthday party, and when my officers got there, they realised that it was a party for a child that's terminally ill. So it was very much discretion, a quiet word, and we went on our way. So we are trying to absolutely balance what we're doing, but it's a really difficult position for us at the moment. And I wonder why it's not been reported. Surely you would want to show people that you're not all brown shirts and that you do have some compassion. Or maybe you imagine the incident. Besides, if the child was terminally ill, wouldn't it have been better to close that party down? Now, I do get that the police have been given very little advice from the government, but this is the police, an organisation that's been around for some 190 years. And after all that time, you're telling me that you don't know how to enforce laws and that you've forgotten the remit of the police. Always moaning about how little respect there is for you, but yet you do nothing to try and rectify that by actually ignoring your own guidance. How hard is it to explain to a gathering that providing you keep socially distanced in the garden, then there's no issue? Which there wouldn't be, because a private garden is no different from a public space in respect of coronavirus. It's not like COVID-19 is going to be floating around and say to itself, this is a park. Better not infect that person who comes within distance of me. I'd better go find a private garden to infect people. Utter madness. A mother of a 20-year-old Matthew Leahy, who was found dead at an Essex hospital in 2012, is calling for a public inquiry, along with 11 other families who have lost loved ones whilst under the care of the former North Essex Partnership NHS Trust, after an inquest in 2015 heard that there were a series of multiple failings and missed opportunities over Matthew's death. Matthew was found unresponsive in his room at the Linden Centre 8 days after he was admitted, and since starting a petition for the public inquiry, Matthew's mother Melanie has amassed over 100,000 signatures, which means a petition is now being considered to be heard in Parliament, before swept under the carpet. Last year, a Parliamentary and Health Service Ombudsman report called for a national review into significant failings at NEP and uncovered systematic failure to tackle repeated and critical failings over an unacceptable period of time. In a statement, it said the Trust extends its deepest condolences to those impacted by the death of people in the care of former North Essex Partnership Trust. From the first day we established EPUT in April 2017, our top priority has been to continuously improve patient safety. We have an ongoing programme of improvements so that we can provide the best possible care for our patients. We are cooperating fully with ongoing investigations into the care of patients under the former North Essex Partnership Trust. The Health and Safety Executive is currently investigating how NEP managed their mental health ward environments between 2004 and 2015 in relation to ligature points. After being contacted by more families, Melanie is calling on any family who lost a loved one in any Essex Mental Health service to come forward and join her campaign for answers. So if you know of anyone who died whilst in the care of mental health services in Essex, there's a website and Twitter link in the description of this video. 41-year-old Staffordshire Police Constable PC Daniel Egerton will be appearing at North Staffordshire Justice Centre on the 30th of September after being charged with common assault. I have as yet been unable to find out who he assaulted or any particulars of the offence, but the hearing is believed to be an initial plea hearing. As always, I will bring you any update on that when the information becomes available. We spoke about PC Darren Booth on the 21st of August and how his misconduct hearing was due to be heard between the 24th and 27th of August over allegations that whilst on duty and in uniform whilst attending an incident of antisocial behaviour, he made inappropriate indecent comments, propositioned a woman for coitus, suggested that one woman should get a third person involved so that they could have a menage a trois and that this could be a regular thing. He then finished his shift and went to see the woman. However, the woman had already called the police force and made a complaint about PC Booth's conduct, and shortly after arriving to meet the woman, PC Booth's colleagues arrived and escorted him from the property. PC Booth denies the allegations that he made comments, propositioned her and asked her for a threesome. The misconduct hearing was told that PC Booth and a colleague met the woman, known as Miss A, and her friend, Miss B, when they were dispatched to Castleford Town Centre on the 7th of March last year. Both women were said to be part of a group of habitual street drinkers and drug users. Miss A told the hearing PC Booth propositioned her as Miss B was being interviewed by his colleague. He was asking to meet up with me that night when he finished his shift, she said. He basically said he wanted to meet up on a regular basis for sex, and if you can get someone else involved, it would be even better. She said she agreed to meet PC Booth that night, but had reported the meeting to police via the 101 number because she wanted him to be caught. She said when he came to her flat in Glasswalton, Glasshoughton. He made further inappropriate comments and asked her for a kiss before police arrived to escort him away. Nicholas Walker, representing PC Booth, said to Miss A, "You set this officer up." She said, "Why would I want to set a copper up? He needed to be caught." The panel was told Miss A has a criminal record dating back more than 16 years, featuring 56 separate offences relating to 27 incidents, including one of assaulting a police officer. PC Booth denies any inappropriate conduct and says he didn't proposition Miss A. He says he went to her flat to get intelligence on counterfeit cigarettes and wanted men. Sorry, I mean, and wanted men, not that he wanted men. The hearing continues and I will bring you any updates tomorrow. New tasers are to be issued to police are said to be being issued despite tests finding they hit their targets less often than older models and are more painful. Yeah, it's reported that police are to be issued with far more torturous devices that, although will hurt more, will be less likely to hit their mark. And of course that makes perfect sense. The Home Office claims the new Taser 7 was more accurate on balance because its barbs fly faster and straighter at suspects, but concerns were raised in official assessments. Tests found higher miss rates for the updated model than the two older versions currently used by British police, and warns that it would cause increased pain, a higher risk of injury, and a safety threat from flying probes. But of course, they're the police, so why should they care, as long as it's not them being tasered? Even after warnings over the use of stun guns from the Independent Office for Police Conduct over use against black men and mentally ill, police chiefs across England and Wales will still be able to get their hands on the new tasers. A report by the Scientific Advisory Committee on the medical implications of less lethal weapons said the Taser 7 may be more painful for the subject because of its electrical output. A document published on Monday said the weapon's more robust incapacitation may elevate the risk of skull and other bone injuries associated with uncontrolled falls and of musculoskeletal injury due to the more forceful muscle contraction. It predicted an increase in the incidence of darts penetrating the body to their full depth, as well as injuries to deeper lying organs and tissues. The committee found that with a miss rate in trials showing 58% compared to 3% for the older Taser X2 and 8% for the X26 barbs, may have a tendency to stray further from the point of aim, making them more likely to hit vulnerable areas of the head and neck or miss suspects entirely. Officials said the figures could be improved by updating training for officers by the College of Policing, which will require police to pass new accuracy tests in order to use a Taser 7. And I'm sure the accuracy will be improved when using virtual reality, as discussed in a recent report. It's not as if there are any factors outside of that could affect the accuracy over a virtual reality setting. Chief Constable Mike Cunningham, Chief Executive of the College of Policing, said all officers carrying the weapons would be trained to a high national standard. The Home Office, which announced £10 million worth of funding for more tasers last year, said that if forces choose to buy the new model, training could start within weeks. Priti Patel, the Home Secretary, said it is sickening that our brave police officers face assaults and attacks as they work tirelessly to keep us all safe. They are our protectors and I will do everything in my power to give them what they need to keep themselves and the public safe. This new Taser model will provide a safe and effective tool for apprehending criminals. Taser incidents in England and Wales rose by 39% to 23,500 in England and Wales in 2018 to 2019, and the year saw a record of 2,700 discharges. 33-year-old nurse Lydia Farrell from East London was left reeling after she received a letter from Ealing Council in West London issuing her a fine for fly tipping, even though her offence referred to was a simple goodwill gesture of leaving some apples from a tree in her back garden in a box with a sign telling people to help themselves. Lydia said, "I'm very disheartened, especially when I have to walk past all the real fly tipping every day at the end of my road." We'd been away for a few days, and not only did we come home to find the fine, but also someone had forced entry into our back garden and broken our fence. So 2 real crimes committed by other people, and I'm the only one who gets fined. She added, "I just felt it was quite sad that the council would fine me for doing a good deed." After posting the incident on social media, the council received a backlash of angry comments. One woman wrote, "Is that all the council has got to worry about? What about drug dealers trading outside schools? What about litter in the street?" Another added, "This is a really, really good deed. Loads of homeless people in need of food, kids going hungry, and people struggling financially. So to offer free food to anyone is really good. A council spokesperson said, the council recognises that the spirit of the residents' actions was with good intentions. We will be in touch with Ms Farrell to rescind the fine. Our priority is to make sure the borough is clean and litter free, and we apologise for any inconvenience this may have caused. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the power of the public, which is why the community here on this channel is so important to me. As a collective, as the channel grows and more people become part of the community, we will have far more voices to put pressure on far more misdeeds by those in these positions of authority who continue to abuse us. Very big thank you to all of the channel supporters, whether you watch, share, like, comment, or support financially. You are all much loved and truly appreciated. And that is all I have for you today. Please like, share, comment and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts, as I know many of you will. And until next time, stay safe, look after each other, film the police and other officials.
Good night, all.
Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you like the content and you'd like to help support the channel, you can do so. In the description of every video there are some links to ways that you're able to help support the channel so I can continue putting out content. If you're unable to help us in that way, hit that subscribe button up the top there. If you haven't already, become a subscriber. That is support enough. Share the videos, comment, like, it all helps. If you're looking for something else to watch, up top there is my latest video. Down the bottom there is a video that YouTube recommends for you.